Dandelion Song here. So there's been a lot of talk of heroes in the news lately, and there is a lot of history around this word. The first time I learned more about the history of this word was studying the Sumerian use of this word through Zachariah Sitchin, and the Anunnaki, the first Anunnaki who came to the planet and decided to mine for gold here. First was Enki all by himself, then he came back with a small team, but then they brought Anunnaki workers, and those workers were called heroes. That was their title. And so they worked for a while, and then they rebelled and mutinied, and then they had to build another worker, which was they made a worker out of the primitive people who were here, which was us. It was kind of like the Planet of the Apes kind of idea. Well, so that's the first part of this. Now, in ancient Greek, the hero word would again refer back to Anunnaki blood, because if you were a demigod or a son of a god, you were a hero. So hero refers to mixed blood. And it also refers to those who do the agenda of the gods, who complete the agenda or agree with the agenda. Now, the way that the Anunnaki work is that, you know, if you are against them, you are a sinner, and if you are with them, you are a hero. They don't have any kind of objective language associated with that. Well, I just wanted to show you how this is revealed in the numbers. So H and E, this is an 8 and a 5. So that's a 13 for he. This is important to realize because that's half of 26. Half of God, you could say, because this is simple gematria on the bottom. Oh, okay, so here's my Menorah gematria sign, so that you know that the top is usually going to be Menorah and the bottom is usually going to be simple. This is the classic 33 word of OR. It's in the center of worm. It's in the center of all kinds of Freemason words, and it means the master. And the worm is also, I'll just draw the worm. The worm is also in the hieroglyphs of the Egyptian pharaohs. I don't know what the academics tell you, that they probably tell you it's a basket to put a fish in, the way that they teach. All right, well, if you add this and this, this is 46, and 46 is the combination of chromosomes. But because of what I know about the history of this world, look at me writing with my left hand, it's pretty good. I used to teach myself to write with my left hand. Because of the history of this word and this world, I believe that when we have a 46 number, or a combination of chromosomes, or the idea of the twin towers being burnt down being a mixture of chromosomes, that they are talking about hybridization. They're talking about mixing the blood with the Anunnaki, or possibly some other kind of blood. So that goes to this idea. Now, human chromosomes, of course, mix this way too, but I just believe that this is referring to hybridization because of the history of this word. Then, if we add, so he in the Menorah gematria is 6 and 5, and we just need to take small note of that. This is the 6, 5, and 5, 6 is a sign of someone who can integrate the phi and the pi. Whoops, I dropped my pen. Let me show you. Because 6 over 5 times phi squared is approximation of pi. So when we see the 65, you're talking about someone who basically has a foot in both worlds, a foot in destiny, and a foot in pi, which is holiness, or the ability to affect destiny, which is their idea actually of a god and possibly a demigod. All right, well, hero, now I've talked to you before, recently with Flagstaff, this last video I did about the number 52 is the 52 deck cards. Sorry, I'm stammering. It's morning time. So this is the idea of the quantum random frequency generator. So again, we have the idea of affecting destiny, because someone who doesn't affect destiny just lets the quantum random frequency generator fall wherever it falls without any intention. And someone who can affect it, you know, either by praying or by, you know, these guys, you know, they march around in circles and burn candles and wear robes. So they would try to affect it that way, or doing things on different lines. And that would be the idea of intentionally collapsing the wave. So this number, I've talked about this as being the quantum random frequency generator number, and it's a confirmation of the idea of the master here. So the other idea we need to integrate in with the 52, the reason why it's the 52 deck of cards comes into play here is because that is the first mechanical aspect where you could fluidly affect the deck of cards using intent and will, which would also be interpreted as charisma. And that would be one of these ideas of these masters or the Freemasons. So this is the idea of the magician and the quantum random frequency generator. Now, magician could be a good magician or a dark magician. A good magician would be somebody who collapses the wave for the benefit of others. You know, that could even be for praying or even saying to the mountain, move, the way that Joshua said, to where you say to all the circuits of, like, say they are using their weather weapon against South Carolina, and you say to the mountain, which would be the circuits of all of their machinery, you would say to the circuits, melt. That would be, I would say, white magic, because you're not harming anybody and you are probably acting in the interest of many innocents. So that's the idea of hero. So I wanted to bring that to you. Also, the Menorah gematria adds up. This is a 7 and that is an 11. So that adds up. First of all, since this is, we also want to pay attention to, this is a double syllable word. So you pay attention to how it collapses across the word. See? So it's 11 and that's a 7. So we pay attention to that before you add it. And then this is the, again, this is the R, which is the idea of the birth or the manifestation, because the B is the pregnant Holy Mother. And the R is where the idea or the Christ or the creation or even your idea, just it's any manifestation is born. Like, say you want to create a family and have children, when you set that into motion for manifestation, the idea is an 18 idea and it's an R. Just to complete the code here, this again collapses to a 9, which talks about the person who walks in the dream, the I, the dream walker, or the ego, which is the all and the nothing. So it's very interesting how complete this code is. All right. Hope you liked that. Talk to you later.